Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. I'm Adam Riancho, and today is Monday, March 23rd, 5:40 p.m. Time for their live stream. Let us begin. In a good mood today, Monday. Unfortunately, we did have some plans with Off the Schneid, which we had to postpone until Wednesday. Had some dad duties for Cody over there, and we will see him later this week. So today, just going to be a solo stream. Maybe we can get a guest tomorrow. I'll be reaching out to some people for sure. Hopefully, tomorrow we have a guest. But with that in mind, we're going to hop into a big board. I think we'll be all set on the computer. I hope you're ready. We're going to hop in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Mother! That's okay. That's okay. I had it ready. I had got it on the phone, and I am hopping in 3, 2, 1. We did get in on the phone. We have 7 more to start, so gonna be that same lobby. Nothing bad happened. We're all good. But appreciate everyone for popping in. We get Pepper Tony in as always. Fimpst today and first. Congrats. Love to see it. Let me adjust something though. I feel like when I was watching it back on the replay, I did not like blocking all of the picks up top. So we're gonna bring that down below. And then we also got money anything. Boom, baby. Nice to see ya. Good to have y'all in here. We have 6 spots remaining to fill this big board. And if anyone would like to join, y'all are welcome. But let me adjust all my stuff. And let's remember to turn on the music today. Let's turn on the music right now. All right. This lobby is slowly filling. Need 5 more. But an impromptu stream. Maybe some of the lurkers. We're not ready to join. But if you would like to join, obviously you're welcome. And while we're waiting, a quick reminder in case you do not know what we're doing. We are on Underdog, and I do have a promo code for y'all at the moment. If you are a new customer and you're interested in what we have going on today, if you want to draft with me, the link is in the description. To use this sign-up code, Blunt gets you an extra $50 in bonus funds after you play your first 5. So only available to new customers. Unfortunately, many of you watching already have an account. But if you are new, if you've seen some of these live streams in the past, or maybe you're hitting the replay and wondering what's going on, if you would like to sign up for Underdog, you not only get that $50 bonus, you also get a first-time deposit match of, I believe, 50%. So let's say, in theory, you deposit $10, the minimum. You would get an extra $5 to play with. Then, let's say you enter a big board. You play your first 5 or more dollars. Then you get an extra 50 bucks. So all in all, your one-time first deposit of $10 would net you $5 in bonus funds and then an extra 50 once you start playing. So that is the promo. Get it if you can. The link is in the description. You have to be a new customer and use code BLUNT on sign up. But I think we're done with that. I think we can move on. We still have 3 spots left open in this one. So that did not fill all the time I needed, sadly. But what's up, Mr. Mufasa? Yo, how you doing? Nice and LeGarrette Blunt. LeGarrette Blunt offered some amazing fantasy upside. Remember that season when he had 17 touchdowns? Remember when it was like, you can never draft the Patriots running back with confidence? And that kind of held true last year. It's not like you had an ideal return on investment with both Ramondre and Travion. I guess those who drafted Ramondre felt a little better about it. But in general, Patriots running back has always been a massive, massive headache. Not for LeGarrette Blunt that year when he had 17 touchdowns, though. Now I'm curious, what year was that? And it is spelled with an O. Blunt on LeGarrette Blunt. You got the capital G correct, but you missed the O. Almost perfect score. Nearly a perfect score. But looks like that draft did fill. We get pick 7. Nothing special. Nothing amazing. I do see Bryson in here at the 8 slot right next to it. I also recognize Bats in here at the 11. And then I do think I've drafted with Sunny before, but not sure if they're a viewer or just a volume drafter. Someone else with the badge might just be clicking the button in a similar time frame. So don't know, don't care. If you are in here, you let me know. I guess I do care in hindsight, but not in like a animosity way, not in a worrisome way. Just oh, we had 18 rushing touchdowns. 2016 LeGarrette Blount, 16 games, 8 starts, 299 touches, 1,161 yards, and 18 rushing touchdowns. And then in the passing game, did just about nothing. 8 targets, 7 catches, 38 yards, and not a single touchdown. All on the ground, basically, with just under 1,200 yards and 18 total touchdowns. All on the ground. Very, very impressive out of LeGarrette Blount. A true league winner with 18 touchdowns. I appreciate tailoring it. You know what? That's actually bonus points. That's bonus points, because I'm sure you did know. Bats is lurking. I know you now, Bats. I'm familiar enough. I'm not the best with names at times. Like, on occasion, you ever meet someone and like they tell you their name, and even when you like consciously try to repeat it and it's like say it out loud, sometimes you just draw a blank, like literally 2 minutes later. Odd, unfortunate turn of events here, but kind of similar to another. Yeah, all right. We kind of had this same situation the other day, where I believe I was also at the 7, maybe I was at the 8, and it was deciding between Amon-Ra and Jefferson, and I went Jefferson just because I'm a little more underweight by comparison. But I'm okay going with receiver in round 1. I still think we'll get a solid running back at pick 18. Could be wrong. Might have to settle for Neighbors. But even if I have to pull up Derrick Henry, I'm not going to be upset. If anything, Henry's starting to go even higher than pick 18. His new ADP is 20.8. So should be on the board when we're on the clock. Even Kenneth Walker, technically, should still be on the board. But I would assume Kenneth Walker goes before my pick. Taylor goes, James Cook off the board, and Ashton Genty at 10. So Bats has a chance to get Amon-Ra at pick 11. That feels really safe. Goes CeeDee Lamb instead. But might get Amon-Ra at pick 14. No, pick 12 goes Amon-Ra. Achane. If they would have passed twice, I think that would have been a mistake. Amon-Ra feels like a very locked-in first-round pick, in my opinion. One of the safer first-round picks. Not saying he has the highest ceiling of any first-round pick, but the typical touchdown production out of Amon-Ra is very safe to project on a week-to-week basis. And he just consistently performs, stays on the field, doesn't miss time. Even if he gets a little banged up, he stays productive. And the Lions offense should play a little better with the new offensive coordinator. An upgraded OC, that is for sure. But Chase Brown, Saquon goes, Jeremiah Love off the board. So, yeah, Ken Walker is the, in my personal rankings, highest available. Trey McBride is there, but pick 18, I think, is where I'm comfortable drafting Kenneth Walker. I think I prefer him over Saquon and Jeremiah Love. I prefer him over Chase Brown. So, in reality, he's my 9th running back in the ranks. I could have taken Derrick Henry above him, but you can pull up Derrick Henry anytime, and this is not going to be the only draft of the afternoon. So, not too worried about it. Hartman, what's up, man? How you doing? When is your next live stream, Hartman? Would love to catch that. Pepper Tony says he probably won't finish wide receiver 1, but he will finish as a top 5 to 8 receiver almost no matter what, which is very valuable at the 1-2 turn. Yes, the locked-in guaranteed points is what is most valuable. You are just not making the incorrect pick. You might not be making the best pick, and I guess in best ball, maybe if you aren't taking the sharpest, most accurate pick, maybe you're just not going to win. Maybe you're just not destined to win. But in general, the purpose of doing some of these drafts is also to practice for your like true leagues. And one of the names that just feels like a no-brainer, can't miss option is Amon-Ra St. Brown, especially when it allows you your preference at running back in the next round. Like, it's just locked in, can't really go wrong. And it feels like there's kind of less injury risk than other players. Like with CeeDee Lamb, he actually missed like 5 games last year and then kind of was banged up all year. Amon-Ra might have gotten banged up but stayed on the field, still gave you some solid production even when injured. Jefferson, we have quarterback concerns. Amon-Ra, we do not. Olave off the board. AJ Brown falls again. But in all honesty, I feel fairly confident with Travis Etienne in round 3. I have a lot of AJ Brown, not as much Etienne. So yeah, just continue to mix it up. And at least for most of the contest, people were not really eligible to draft Walker and Etienne on the same team as much. There might be a few teams like that, but not as often. So Etienne falls just a little bit. I've seen him go 26, 27 most of the time. So we get him at 31. Not a chance to take Josh Allen. Kyron went 25. But that team with Bijan getting a little bit unique, a little bit different. Reaching on a couple players with some justified reason. But Tet goes above Etienne. I'm not convinced that is correct. I'm fading Tet a little bit. Last year, I was pretty gung-ho about Tet around pick 40 in the early 4th. I was taking him quite often. He never really fell past that, but he never quite delivered on that draft capital. There were very few instances where Tet was actually like spiking into your lineup with like really massive numbers. He was kind of slow and steady for a while, a lot of volume, not many touchdowns. And then there was one game where he had 2 touchdowns against the Cowboys. Of all matchups, it was like the easiest fucking matchup you could ask for. And he barely had any yards. It was like a bummer. It was like, despite 2 touchdowns, he still only had like 16 or 17 points. It wasn't like an insane blow up. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I remember that pretty vividly. The Falcons game was amazing, but then the Cowboys game was the other 2 touchdown game. 29 yards on 3 catches and 2 touchdowns. So I guess the Atlanta game is really the only like scope of optimism. There's not that many instances where Tet is like super valuable in this format. Good reason why I took a lot of Henry at the 1-2 turn last year. Get your guys in regards to just like locking in production. Very safe. Get to just move on knowing you have valuable players. I did not get H-An on this team. Team 12 has H-An. Oh, yes, actually, you are correct. I did get H-An. Don't do this too often. I don't have much Javonte, in all honesty. But I do think he's a fine round 4 selection. Let's do it. Let's go with Ken Walker, Travis Etienne, and Javonte Williams. Let's do that. We're just locking up a lot of volume. And I remember when I took that Etienne pick, I was a bit surprised he was there. And I took a mental note that there was fewer teams with green selections on this side of the board. In the top 6, other than the Bijan Kyron team, nobody had more than 2 running backs. And then there was also the team with only with 0 that went wide receiver straight in the first 3 rounds. So in general, this turn might be trending towards catching up in that regard. And if I have a lot of players in a similar tier, I'm willing to favor a name like Javonte because we see something kind of crazy happen. That team at 1 is really just pulling up whoever they want, but David Montgomery was not going to make it back. So I guess a fair decision. A relatively fair decision, but like I'm glad I'm not getting sniped on Dave Montgomery and feeling like I need him. Yeah, that team at 3 goes Travion Quinshon. Felt the heat a little bit, but we might get a really good value here. At the moment, Lamar Jackson still falling. He does go to Colston Loveland. The team with Colston Loveland would have happily taken Lamar there, but damn, if I get Terry at 55, that's pretty clutch. I mean, this team says Terry time 47. If they pass on Terry at 54. The fuck are you doing? Even letting the clock time out is pretty crazy. Goes Rome. Pretty. It's Terry time for me. I'm not gonna pass Terry time all day long at 55. Thank you very much. We have a legitimate shot to get Jaden Daniels at 66 as well. That's dope. But wow, way to fumble. Terry time 47 has a 7-pick fall on Terry McLaurin and goes Roma Dunze instead. What a did not see that coming. I thought we were getting sniped, but I'll take it. That's like the best price on Terry I've seen in a while. Can't say I've seen him at 55 too often, but that feels pretty safe. Round 5, Terry McLaurin. Hell yeah. Nice. But Scott, good evening to you too. Nice to see you, my friend. And Dean Johnson says, I can't draft a guy whose quarterback played the entire game and threw for 54 yards on 24 attempts. We talking Justin Jefferson playing behind JJ McCarthy? Well, that's the thing. At the moment, we're just betting on Kyler Murray, who's hungry. Kyler leaving Arizona is a bit of a shameful, humbling experience. Taking a league minimum $1 million contract, despite still getting paid, damn. Team 12 goes Jaden Daniels. Bummer. I guess you can take him unstacked. It's not that big of a deal, but dang, I was getting optimistic. I've seen Daniels start to fall a few times. Got him at pick 70 the other day in a draft with Dog Pound that I was lurking in the chat with. No, I announced myself, but yeah, we got Daniels to circle back at pick 70, and at 51, I did take Terry. So I was thinking maybe we get lucky like that once again, but do I pull the rug and go RJ Harvey on the rest of them? I suppose I could. Don't get the chance to. Not in love with Marvin Harrison, in all honesty. I think the receivers in this range are like a big trap, and if anything, it's kind of better to go quarterback. But getting an elite option at tight end, mixing in Tyler Warren is fine. A little bit pricey at times, but the tight end 4 with like true tight end 1 capability, Tyler Warren can really crush. And the fact they moved off of Michael Pittman is just really like a vote of confidence. I trust that Tyler Warren will be at like an 8 to 10 target per game type of guy, maybe even more. Like, the thing about Tyler Warren is he was really just a staple. Kind of underrated because he wasn't scoring touchdowns for like the first few weeks. But in terms of targets, like I genuinely believe we could be in a phenomenal zone. But he doesn't need a ton of targets to really like produce. Like I said, first month, no touchdowns, but 3 games in his first 4 career games with 70 plus yards. That's insane. That's a really impressive stat. His first 4 games in the NFL averaged 65.8 yards per game on only 4.8 receptions. Like, a lot of tight ends only average like barely 10 yards per catch. Like, you give most tight ends 4.5 catches, they're usually going to give you like maybe 50 yards on like a good day. Like, a lot of tight ends average like right around 10-11 yards per catch. With Tyler Warren, that was an average of what happened to my little that was an average of almost 13.8 yards per reception. Is pretty legit at tight end. But might just push again, but I think instead we're gonna go Addison. We're gonna really invest in Kyler today. Could have gone Parker. Didn't think I'd get Addison to circle back, so we take him at 90. I've been pulling him up pretty much anywhere in round 7, and I don't hate it. Bryce is not him. Yeah, like, to be drafting a Bryce Young wide receiver in the 3rd round is pretty insane to me. Like, I guess in round 4 I would be taking him a lot more often, but like, as a position, when you look at all the receivers in totality, especially in the first few rounds, most players lost value compared to last year. Like even Jamar Chase lost at least 2 picks. You can look at every single receiver and say this guy lost some value other than JSN and George Pickens in the first 3 rounds. Otherwise, like everybody else is moving down. I guess Olave also moved up. But like Tet didn't quite deliver on his 4th round draft capital last year and moved up regardless. It's just like hopeful optimism. So if I'm going to be drafting a Panthers wideout, I'd much rather pay the price on Jalen Coker in the 115 range as opposed to Tet McMillan before pick 30 in this lobby. Pick 29, a little pricey for me. How am I feeling in general about the Cowboys prices? I'm getting more excited about the George Pickens price, especially as it's more likely to fall deeper into the 3rd round. I think George Pickens is a good click. I'm good with Javonte because there seems to be no like real backup to worry about at all. Like Jaden Blue is pretty irrelevant. I drafted him the other day just to mix him in, but really doesn't give me much confidence. So Javonte feels pretty locked in. Lamb, I think, could be going closer to where London is going and where Neighbors is going, and it would be not egregious. I think Lamb feels a little bit more like a 2nd round pick. As someone who had him last year, that's how I kind of feel about it. But yeah, let's do it. Let's just have a really good running back room with just like tremendous upside, and let's also kind of like try to punish some of the teams on this side of the board. Like running back is getting gross fast moving forward. So if I can give some of these teams a sense of urgency at a position that I have virtually locked up, like I'm still drafting another running back or 2. I usually go 6 regardless in these 20 round drafts. But I could stop at 5 if I get a nice 5th one that I feel good about. With Walker, Etienne, Javonte, and Rico Dowdle, I feel really competitive. On this side of the board, in the top 7 picks, not many teams have better running back rooms than I do. There's the team with Bijan, Kyron, Dave Montgomery, and Jalen Warren. But besides Bijan, I would argue I have the better running back at positions 2, 3, and 4. I like Rico over Jalen Warren, in all honesty, especially in best ball. Javonte over Dave Montgomery for sure. Etienne over Kyron, I prefer. And then Bijan obviously over Walker. But collectively, I think I have a better group of 4. But no Bryce Young. I love Kyler going to the Vikings. Yes, that is definitely a spot we like as well. For this team in particular, if I don't get sniped here. Terry Time did not snipe us on Terry. Will he snipe us? No, he does not. He goes Wandell. If anything, he saved me from myself. If anything, he saved me from making a big mistake, because I don't have the best receiver depth on this team. We have Jefferson, Terry, and Addison. Could be better. Let's not pretend like it could be better. But if I missed out on the Kyler double stack, I might be fucked. So glad that we did not have that decision to make. I would have gone Wandell had I been sniped. I would have just grabbed another receiver and I think let the chips fall on who my quarterback was, because this team is like so clearly and obvious intended for a Kyler Murray stack. And we got it. So we're chilling. We're in good shape. The investment on Jefferson and Addison makes Kyler like truly have to smash for everything to work out. But if Kyler does smash, then he's one of the best picks in round 9. I mean, relative to his position, we got 15 quarterbacks selected over Kyler Murray. QB 16 for a guy hit with his mobility in a Kevin O'Connell system, with something to prove, chip on his shoulder, and a hungrier mindset than we've probably ever seen since the year when he started off like 8-0, or what is it? I think it was 7-0, and then they went like 9-1 or something. Yeah, I think they were like 9-1, and then they still got the wild card spot, which is fucking crazy. A little worried about Kyler's mental state as the year goes on. After he's proven some stuff, like there's a chance we get to November and he starts to check out a little bit. But I'm not too worried about it. But Appreciate you, Fantasy Dog number 11 like. We're up to 14. So appreciate everyone for hitting that like button. If you're enjoying the content, go ahead and do so below as well. If you're on the phone, X out of the live chat, you'll see the like button right there, and then you scroll up, you'll see the live chat once again. It's like 3 clicks just to get back and drop that like. But I would appreciate that if you can. And if you're new, if you're still deciding if you like it, consider subscribing. If you made it this far, who knows? Maybe you are meant to subscribe. Maybe, just maybe. But let's see how this team goes before we make any final decisions. We still got to land the plane. We're halfway through. Round 10 is the midpoint. Damn, kind of want to go Jadarian Price and just call it done. But I know that receiver gets a little shaky. And as much as we shit-talked Tet McMillan, I'm kind of the mindset, especially early on in like the big board, when like a lot of the things we're assuming are just that, assumptions. There's a lot of luck still involved, I think, drafting the big board. There's still a lot of things we just simply can't project. But if I see a player on a team whose ADP I don't like, and I don't usually click them, for instance, Tedder McMillan, who we were talking about, then just by the nature of just like how my logic operates, why I've led myself to drafting so much Tank Bigsby, is by proxy, I need to be promoting somebody else. Because the ADP is always kind of correlated. Like, the ADP assumes that Tet's going to play really well, and Coker is not going to be anywhere near as well. Well, if Tet does not play as well, either Bryce Young just really sucks, or maybe some of that production goes elsewhere, a la Jalen Coker. So, as I'm fading Tet, I'm willing to look at someone like Jalen Coker and prop him up a little bit, promote him just a little bit extra. And when you look at his peers, everybody else available going after him, there's not much that is guaranteed beyond Jalen Coker at this position. There's a lot of swings that do not feel super safe. I mean, like Higgins, I liked last year, not as much. Concepcion, at least he's a rookie. There's still some interesting spots. Jawan's still a free agent, but spots are drying up, pretty limited. Boston has been falling. McMillan, at least we know where he's playing. I do like McMillan, but there's a lot of names beyond McMillan that are just not safe at all. So yeah, we need a receiver, our 4th. I prefer Coker as like your 5th, but that just kind of speaks to how I've built this team, and a little bit more risky in regards to receiver. We have Jefferson, Terry, Addison, and Coker. Got a nice price on Terry, pulled up Addison, got the double stack with Kyler, and then we did take Coker just above ADP. But what's up, Fantasy Garage? He's going live later tonight, I believe in like an hour and a half, something like that. So after we're done here, go ahead and check that out, head over there. But sweet, the man I wanted does circle back, and nope, we got a gift. We're not going to pass it up. We got Tyler Shuck to fall to 127, almost a full 10 picks past ADP. He goes at 118, right? That's his ADP. Yeah, 118.4. We get him 127. He's one of the last I feel safe with, and Darnold was off the board. Stroud already went. I don't like drafting Stroud at all, and there's not many names left on the board that I think offer the value of Tyler Shuck. So we do take him. He is stacked up with Travis Etienne. That's easy to forget, given Etienne does not wear the Saints uniform in the picture. But Etienne does catch passes. Kamara might be on the outs, might be retiring. And at the moment, Etienne Achan, or as I used to refer to him back when he entered the league, Etienne, that's the French way to pronounce it, Etienne, Travis Etienne does pair with Tyler Shuck pretty well. So I will take that. We do see the Jordan Love drafter get Matthew Golden. Kind of wanted Golden, but I was in a... I also faded quarterback for quite some time. So we got a little gift, nice little faller, and he was not going to circle back, that's for sure. I'm surprised the Olave drafter passed. Damn, Terry time giving me some gifts here. Passes on Terry McLaurin for Rome, and then has Olave passes on Tyler Shuck behind ADP for JCM. Thank you, my friend. A tip of the cap to you. Appreciate it. But I'm glad I don't need running back right here because yikes, it looks a bit gross. But in all honesty, I kind of want to take Charbonnet a little bit. Like, this is a team where I feel like I could take Charbonnet and really justify it. Some receivers go off, though. McMillan got taken. He's kind of the only one I wanted.
Nice and blonde.
I'm going to take Charbonnet. A little above ADP, but like I said before, this is the turn where I think all the pressure is gonna come to a head, and like there's gonna be a big run, and there's gonna be one round coming up. We're coming back in this direction. I think I'm gonna get an insane value on someone. Like that's kind of the reason why I got Tyler Shuck. Like I think the team with Stroud kind of made a mistake. They have Nico Collins, so I guess it makes sense. But just straight up, who's more valuable? I think Shuck is much better than Stroud for fantasy, and we got Shuck to fall because like 6 of those picks on those 5 teams were running backs, forcing the issue a little bit and getting a little bit lucky with a savior like that. But bonsoir, Jamie. Appreciate you hopping in. With Kyler, the new Call of Duty doesn't come out until 2027, so he's good for... Oh, fuck yes. Yes, we dodge a Call of Duty release with Kyler this season. That's beautiful. Yeah, like I was saying, he's hungry. He's got something to prove. Chip on his shoulder, and now no Call of Duty to distract him for 1 year. He'll get paid next season, and he'll shit the bed. But for 1 year, less distractions and better outcomes. So that feels good. Tony Romero the third says KOC just needs to reward Kyler with Call of Duty time to keep him focused. Well, these are conflicting narratives. Which one is it? I think if anything, it's gonna be like if they can get the bye week type of reward, you know what I mean? And then they just lose, like the Vikings always lose wild card round in the playoffs. That's probably what's gonna happen. Kyler will lead the Vikings to the 1 seed, and then in that bye week, he's gonna spend way too much time playing Call of Duty, and then they literally only score like 10 points in the playoff game. Definitely need to draft more Kyler. I've been trying to get back in with Kyler because like just didn't really. I've been fading him for a couple years. It's paid off a couple years now, but this is definitely the year where I'm back in on Kyler. And the quarterback prices have all been steamed up a little bit, so to get him 16 overall at the price we got him last year is like, yeah, that's pretty dope. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to take Cam Ward, but I probably should have taken Daniel Jones there. But I'm just not in love with Denzel Boston, honestly. Just not. And we're just going to get like a shit ton of volume going down the line. We're done at quarterback. We still need another tight end or two. But with Kyler, Tyler Shuck, and Cam Ward, I can rest easy. A little surprised some of these teams didn't take quarterback. Like even Terry Time passing again, really committed to Caleb there on that team. Very interesting. But the Garage says Bryce scares me. T-Mac and Coker are cool, so maybe they help him pay off. Ward seems more likely to return value at ADP. Yeah, 100%. We got Cam Ward a little past ADP on this one. 10 picks past ADP. Yeah, we got lucky with the Tyler Shuck price, and then again, the Cam Ward fall. The receiver position really dried up, though. That was unfortunate. I was honestly planning to just take Omar Cooper Jr. at 151. Didn't get him, and maybe I'm screwed, but I think we're gonna be okay. We got one of the elite tight ends with Tyler Warren. Could suck, but with no Pittman, I trust the volume to be incoming at a higher rate. And then we're leaning on Jefferson. Got a good price on Terry. Addison, Coker. Receivers still rough, but our running back room's insane. Running back is great. Walker, Etienne, Javonte, Rico Dowdle, and then the fantasy football playoff swing with Charbonnet. All we need is Charbonnet in like week 17 to be the guy that you need. That's why I'm taking him 6 picks above ADP. If he's the Seahawks RB1 in the fantasy playoffs, there we go. The Bryce Young really sucks outcome might be the favorite, unfortunately. Yes, I think
Nice and blunt.
he was vying for that 5th-year option, wants another contract. Maybe he can deliver, but he's not going to make the playoffs again. I really would be shocked if they made the playoffs again. They went 8-9. It's not like they had a really good year. That division was just god-awful. But getting a little bit late to still only have 4 receivers. I haven't been in this situation in a minute, and I'm kind of just inclined to double down at this point. Just kind of keep digging the grave and then just get really weird with it with some of our final picks. But Bryson goes Tyreek Hill. I will take Juwan Johnson. And now if I want, I could just be done at tight end. Tyler Warren, Juwan Johnson is good enough to leave the lobby and just say, yep, I don't need any more. But out of necessity, I might need all 5 of these remaining. We have 6 picks left, actually. We have 6 picks left. 5 of them might have to be receivers. Like, straight up. Doesn't feel good. Higgins at nearly 150 is nuts. 147. Yeah, if Higgins had circled back, I would 100% taken him. But I felt like I could either get Juwan Jennings or Omar Cooper to circle back. So risked it. Didn't quite work out. Running back got a little bit dry by the time we hit the Zach Charbonnet click. But a bit of a luxury selection. Might regret it. Might regret it. Seems like most of us agree Bryce Young is not a valuable asset, and it's a bit odd that we're pricing his top option in round 3. Like, really? I just don't get it. There's 1, maybe 2 good games. Otherwise, it's just like, not sold. I was a believer last year, but I'm not a believer anymore. If his price had gone down, I'd probably be hyping him up. I'd probably still consider it valuable, but his price went up, and like compared to the position, like significantly. So I just don't think he had the year that George Pickens had to merit him going 3 picks behind George Pickens. Like, if anything, we might be underselling Pickens and his value, and overselling Tet by comparison. Like, Olave had a much better year. I would feel much more confident with Olave over Tet. AJ Brown didn't have the best year. They were actually kind of comparable, but in general, AJ Brown has a longer track record of success and higher upside. But Terry time goes Tank Dell. This is kind of bad. I'm going to take Trey Harris. I'm willing to believe that Keenan is just not going to come back. I think Trey Harris might be one of the most valuable Chargers to draft. Like, based on ADP, based on the potential breakout. He was a 2nd-round pick last year. Like, pretty solid investment made on Trey Harris. And, like, obviously, Jim Harbaugh's going to be, like, ever optimistic and a little oversell the players he has. But, like, round 2 capital, we're in a 4.54. I guess maybe that's why people don't really like him. But I believe the 10-yard split was okay. He's 6'2", 205 pounds, weight-adjusted speed score, a little bit better, relatively speaking. But last year, kind of really disappointing. Only 43 targets, 30 catches is not bad. That's over like 70% catch rate. I believe that's like a 71% catch rate, if my math is correct. It's good. So it's around 70%. For 324 yards, nothing special. 1 touchdown, big whoop. But if we scroll down, if we go back to his college numbers, like his last 3 years in college were pretty good. Out of Louisiana Tech, had 935 yards and 10 touchdowns his junior year. Then went to Ole Miss to play for Lane Kiffin, 54 catches, 985, and 8 touchdowns in the SEC. And then 5th-year senior, 60 catches in only 9 games. Didn't play a full season, only 9 games 1,030 yards, 7 touchdowns in 9 games. Like, he played pretty well to close out his college career. I believe he can deliver if the opportunity is there. But we're in a tricky spot. I'm going to push that last tight end. I told you like 5 of my last 6 picks are probably receivers. But Dean Johnson says that McMillan and Alec Pierce both went in the 70s. I'd still never take McMillan once over Alec Pierce. I think that's a little egregious. In the 70s? No, that feels a little too low. But could I see Alec Pierce still outscore him? Yeah, I think it's possible. But I could, you know what? I don't think you're way out of bounds on that. In all honesty, I don't think that's like egregiously low. I would like him a lot more if he was closer to Terry and like Jalen Waddle. I think that's more appropriate on tip. And those guys can arguably be going in like the early 4th as well. Like receiver is just so flat in the late 3rd to like early 5th round. You can kind of just take 2 of whoever you want, and it's not bad at all. If you're in the middle, you can get 3 really dope guys. Like Bryson got AJ Brown, Luther Burden, Carnell Tate, picks 32, 41, 56. That's pretty dope. As his first 3 receivers, that's pretty good. But what's up, Silver Rapture? Good to see you. Appreciate you joining the stream last night. But we're getting a little bit different. We're going to take Christian Kirk. At the moment, the wide receiver 3 in San Francisco, and Ricky Pearsall has some of the most legitimate question marks you can think of in terms of staying healthy. Like last year, I don't know what the fuck was going on last year. We're gonna excuse the gunshot wound, of course. That is fluky, not repeatable, at least you'd think. But last year, really disappointing injury history with Ricky Pearsall. And it's not like Mike Evans is some spring chicken. Mike Evans can definitely miss some time. Christian Kirk might not be heavily relied upon week 1, but give it some time. Week 7, week 8 rolls around, some injuries above him. He will factor in. Absolutely. So Christian Kirk, I at the moment believe is more valuable than Malik Washington. I'd rather invest in the Niners offense and Kyle Shanahan than, even though at the moment Malik Washington is the wide receiver 1 in Miami, just not my preferred cup of tea. I also believe they're drafting someone like Mekhi Lemon or Jordan Tyson at the very least. So don't think he'll remain the wide receiver 1. And I'd rather bet on Brock Purdy than Malik Willis. But K-Tron goes. We also took Darnell Mooney. Didn't really mention it much, but we did take Mooney. Reuniting with Matt Nagy. A little interesting. At this price, I'm willing to talk myself into it once again. That is really the sample size that has kept me hooked on Darnell Mooney over the years. His days with the Chicago Bears and Matt Nagy are why I kept clicking him the last couple seasons. And injuries really derailed him. Maybe he's never healthy at 100% ever again. Maybe it's a really bad click. But maybe he still has something left in the tank. Could 100% just go Gunnar Helm. Could definitely just do that. But like I said, 5 of our last 6 picks are probably receivers. And I want the receiver, the rookie that I just want the most. Just give me my preferred rookie in Jeremy Bernard. Definitely not the safest direction to be going. We don't have a stack with Cam Ward, but I don't really care about it. Probably should have taken Daniel Jones with Tyler Warren. But it was past ADP at a big discount. Thought I could backstack him. Could technically still do that. But we did pass on Gunnar Helm there, which would have correlated well. But I am making up for lost ground. I think these last 4 picks have legitimate value. Not saying they're like the best of the best. Not saying they're going to automatically deliver. But I think for the price, these are some of the names I'm most comfortable with. But Trey Harris could be a tough one. Could also be great. Might just be time to fade Quentin Johnston entirely and just go Trey Harris. But for the price, he feels like one of the more valuable Chargers. I'm in on Trey Harris because he's survived free agency so far, and there's a chance he survives the draft as well. What's up? Goofy Chicken Fantasy. Love the name. Love the name. Appreciate you joining us. But I think I'll just go Elick maybe. Yeah, that's who we took. Didn't let go of DeMercado in time to override it. But yeah, we finally get one stacking option with Cam Warden. Ayamanor did offer some like deep touchdown production. And with the re-signing of Ridley, with the introduction of Wandale, maybe, just maybe, Chimera DK's role is in jeopardy. And maybe the more appealing stacking option is just the cheapest guy with Elick Ayamanor. Last year, I preferred Ayamanor over DK straight up. And that was right for like the first few weeks and then definitely wrong down the stretch. But they just play different roles, and I think it's possible that Wandale will eat in a little bit more to Chimera DK's offensive role. Just a little bit. Maybe not. Really hard to say definitively, but there's still a chance that Yamanor is better than Ridley. There's still a chance. I liked him coming out of college, so I don't have much of him, and we don't have anyone else stacked with Cam Ward. So let's get a little bit of an exposure to a Yamanor for the sake of just mixing him in on occasion. This is definitely one of the cheaper prices to take him with. But if you're enjoying this, if you'd like a second draft, we're going to do a second draft, but if you can do me a favor, let's get up to 25 likes. I'd really appreciate it. We can get up to 25. That'd feel awesome. And we will do a second draft regardless, but just wanted to throw that out there. I will take a look at Bryson's team and Bat's team and maybe anybody else that looks appealing, interesting in the first like 4 or 5 rounds. If they had an interesting start, maybe I'll take a look. But I'm also packing another bowl. Oh shit, on the clock. Yeah, I'll go Amari DeMercado. We'll just lock up the handcuff to Kenneth Walker in case he misses any time. He has had some injury problems in the past, and it's not like he has like the best O-line imaginable. So we're not going to get any points from Charbonnet if we do miss some time from Walker. Maybe, just maybe, our lineup is not as strong at running back as we might think. So let's just lock in a player that wasn't drafted like crazy up until this point. And, you know, a handcuff option that would fill in at the right time if we ever missed any opportunity from Walker. Like what if I get unlucky and like week 14, I've got ETN and Rico Dowdle on bye. Charbonnet is still like barely coming back and doesn't have a great game, and Walker is like injured heading into the week, and like the difference between me having like third and fourth place is just like 5 points out of the running back 2 in my lineup. Like, what if I just get like really bad luck? Something like that. So just kind of a contingency play, another flex option, makes that fourth position in the lineup, that flex spot, more likely to not need running back. So less likely to need a wide receiver is what I mean. Our receiver room is a little bit shaky. Up top, it's strong, but the depth, we took a while to like fully ingrain. And there's a chance it doesn't work out. But a full reminder on how the team is: we go with the 7 pick, a 3-6-9-2. We have Kyler Murray, Tyler Shuck, and Cam Ward. Kind of wish I just took Daniel Jones, but the fall on Ward was pretty significant. 10 picks for Ward, and I do prefer him a lot more straight up as opposed to Daniel Jones. So couldn't help myself, took him there at 151. We also got Tyler Shuck at a nice value as well, pick 127. So them with Kyler Murray. The stack we're really betting on is the Kyler stack. Tyler Shuck is stacked up with Travis Etienne, no one else. Maybe Jeremy Bernard, but unlikely. And then, oh no, he's also stacked up with Juwan Johnson. My bad, I forgot about that. And then Cam Ward is stacked up with only Elic Ayamanor. I almost took Gunnar Helm, but instead I took Jeremy Bernard, and he didn't come back to me. So Ayamanor is the stacking option. And our receiver room isn't terrible in hindsight, given the volume. But running back is really the strength of this team. We have Walker in round 2, Etienne in round 3. We've got Javonte just past ADP, pick 42 in the 4th round. And then I took Rico Dowdle to get ahead of some teams lacking on that position. I feel really strong about the running back room and the depth. That's why I was willing to gamble on Zach Charbonnet, who could just be a league winner in week 17. Might be the guy that gives you the most money, because not many teams I think are going to advance Charbonnet. You need a very good running back room above him to be able to bypass, some of the advance rates. It's going to be harder to make it to week 17 with Charbonnet. But if you can, you're in business. He should be valuable at that point. And then Amari DiMercado as the Kansas City handcuff, just in case Walker does go down. But receiver, loaded up top with Jefferson. We got Terry at a good fall, 8 past ADP. That one was a bit of a gift for sure. And then we also took Addison to disincentivize someone sniping us on Kyler. And we do have that double stack. That is what we need for this team to win it all. And then Jalen Coker in the 10th round with Trey Harris. We had a big run on wide receiver. I believe it's 5 straight picks with Trey Harris, Darnell Mooney, Christian Kirk, Jeremy Bernard, and Elic Ayamanor. The depth is okay. I need a good landing spot for Jeremy, of course, but Ayamanor, maybe 2 spikes. Christian Kirk, maybe 3 or 4. Darnell Mooney could do something, could be dog shit. And then maybe Trey Harris is really bad yet again, but maybe he just slides in to the Keenan Allen role in LA. He could actually be super, super valuable. He has that upside, but not much floor. So I like it. I think it works. It's risky, of course, but I think Terry definitely saved me. And some of the risk deeper on should be okay, because I only have to start 3 of them most weeks. I feel pretty confident I'm getting a flex play out of running back most of the time. So that's pretty good. We got pretty good volume. And then tight end a little bit thin, but we drafted Tyler Warren really early, so just making a bet that he's the guy you need and doubling down. And then Juwan Johnson for the stack. We got 8 picks past ADP, who I consider like a top 12 tight end. I think Juwan Johnson is very legitimately one of the tight ends that will carry you and just get you the points that, like, every week where you're not floundering, you're not drowning at tight end. I think you can get by with Tyler Warren and Juwan Johnson. So if there's one position I'm willing to be a little thin on, it's tight end, but QB feels good. And if Kyler is really top 10, like I think he could be, then I think this team is in business. That's what we need for the Jefferson Addison commitment to carry me. But we also want to take a look at Bryson right behind us. He has a 3-6-9-2 as well with Love, Malik Willis, and Daniel Jones. So I think I have a better quarterback room just by a little bit. Taylor, Jeremiah Love, RJ Harvey, Tyjae, Jalen Wright, and Ollie Gordon. Running backs are great up top. Did go Harvey, but the depth is a little thin, pretty shaky with running backs 4 through 6, not going to lie. A.J. Brown, Luther Burden, Carnell Tate. We've mentioned that was a great way to start out given the weight. And then Ricky Pearsall picked 89. Matthew Golden as the 5th feels pretty good. Tyreek Hill, Chimeri DK, Malik Washington, and Torrey Horton. I think you can get by not counting too much on Tyreek. If he does pop, that could be the player you need. But Fannin and Kittle. Good luck with Kittle being healthy for the most part, but Fannin is good enough. I don't like to only have 2 tight ends when I have Kittle, though. I'm a little worried about Kittle staying healthy. Maybe a Jake Tonjes selection might have really had some value there. Passed on Tonjes for Jalen Wright. Did not come back around. Yeah, interesting. You got both Dolphins handcuffs as opposed to handcuffing Kittle. I think Tonjes might have been a little more valuable than Jalen Wright, but that's my personal take. I could be wrong. Definitely been wrong before. So team is strong, balanced, but a little bit thin at quarterback, just a little bit. Don't love the names, but should be fine if receiver doesn't get hurt. Should be all set. But Bats also in here at 11. Let's take a look at Bats' team, and then let's draft one more. Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, and Ty Simpson. Not bad, but Ty Simpson could easily be a 0. And Mahomes might be missing time. So a lot hinging on Dak. Hampton Bucky, Byshel Tootin at 59. Emmett Johnson, 155. Jonathan Brooks behind Emmett Johnson. Then Pacheco, Kamara. Solid. Really solid. CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, Mekhi Lemon, Xavier Worthy, Jaden Reed, Calvin Ridley, and Ryan Flournoy. So a big bet on the Chiefs. Worth mixing in every now and then. Just a big Chiefs stack. And then Jake Ferguson, Travis Kelce, Theo Johnson. Very legit tight end room with Dallas and Kansas City stacked up. Pretty solid. I personally would have taken a receiver instead of Kamara, but that's such a nitpick type of thing. And then I'm not a believer in Ty Johnson, but if I'm wrong, I might be missing out on a lot of money. He could really deliver. If I'm not mistaken, Ty Johnson has like good rushing value, which is what led to like Jackson Dart being such a valuable pick that no one was really taking for a long time. Jackson Dart and the rushing skills. But maybe I'm mixing him up with someone else. Last year, though, had 3,567 passing yards, 28 touchdowns in 15 games. Oh, no, he does not run the ball like I thought. Never mind. I am mistaken. I'm not sure who I was thinking of, in all honesty. But, yeah. Y'all made me step up my game. Wait for this next one. Like number 21. Appreciate you. We're at 23 likes. Would appreciate. We have 41 viewers. If just 2 of y'all hit that like button, I'm gonna join as well. I'm gonna hit that like button as well. 1 of y'all hit the like button, and we'll get to 25, and we will hit that instantly. Y'all did it for me. Appreciate y'all. We're up to 25. Appreciate you. No beer tonight. No beer tonight. But we are packing a bowl. That's the last thing on the docket before I hop into another draft, actually. And then we did get location aired earlier on, so I guess I got to get ahead of that. But all right. So let's do another one. We're hopping into a big board, and I will get it set on the phone. So hope you're getting ready as well. Roughly 5 seconds, because I am ready. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hop in. 9 more to start. We're +9. We got a lot of spots open. So if you would like to join, plenty of friends and family. I have to turn on the fan. I will be right back. Getting hot in here. Oh, whoops. What's going on? There it is. 2 more spots. We are almost full. The bowl is about 70% packed. give it 30 seconds. We'll take a little smoke break. And probably be drafting pretty quickly on the other side. I'll catch up with the chat. And we'll take down this tournament. This is the draft where we're going to take down this tournament. Watch. I got a good feeling. Got a really good feeling about this one. See you on the other side. Just as I predicted, we did fill this lobby during the smoke break. Which pick do we get? Just my luck. Again, we get pick 8? Again? Yo, this is some bullshit. This is genuinely some bullshit. I'm pulling it up on another tab, but I think since the last time I've shown you this, I've drafted maybe like 7 or 8 teams, and I think 3 of them are also pick 8. But all right, here we go. These are my pick distributions, and I think since I've updated this, I literally have up to like 16 out of the 8 slot. The average is going to be just over 7, maybe 7.5 in terms of distribution, and I literally have more than double that in the 8 slot. So it's just my luck. It's just how it goes. Today, got to get a little bit different. But Silver Rapture loves the 8 pick. Honestly, I don't hate it. I think it's okay. I'm not going to complain about it. It's just like once you get it all of the time and you become aware of it, then it's a little bit crazy. But I see Silver Rapture in at the 101. Lucky you, my friend. Good luck there. We see Super Shorty. Good to see Steph Miller in the house. She's drafting at 102. We got Fancy Dog in at the 104. Welcome, Fancy Dog. We got Des Got Slabs right in front of me at the 107. How you doing, Marcus? And then Goblor. I don't think I recognize Goblor, actually. But Bryson in again at the 10 slot. And then I've seen Snappy Pants before. Not sure if he's watching. Let me know. Yes, Scott Coyote is in at 12. Scott Coyote is Snappy Pants himself. Oh, what's going on? Oh, have I been missing the live chat filter for like this whole fucking time? Where is it? Because I remember I switched from top chat to all messages midway through the stream. Where is it? All right. I'll figure that out. Again, we're in the same situation. This is why I go Justin Jefferson instead of Amon-Ra sometimes, just to like be different. But all right. I'll go James Cook. Almost pivoted to CeeDee Lamb just to get another guy I don't get too much of, but I'll go James Cook here. I feel pretty confident in James Cook. But something weird is actually going on with my filter for the comments. Let me try again. Huh. Something is wrong. Apologies. Let's figure that out. Henry's on the thumbnail. Let's pull up Derrick Henry just a little bit. Fine with that. Perfectly fine with that. Whoa. All right. Bummer. At some point, I just lost y'all's comments. And this doesn't seem to work. Sorry, I'm just trying out something different. Nope. That's so weird. All right, I'm gonna move on from that topic because I'm sure that was just riveting audio. At least we have the music in the back. Oh no, we don't even have the music. Fuck. I'm sure that was super fun. Sorry about that. Yeah, we paused the music for the smoke break and didn't bring it back on. My bad. Bumbling over here. All right. Silver Rapture does like pick 6 through 8. Did go Gibbs at the 101. No, you're right, Jamie. Cannot win without the music. Dean Johnson's I've had pick 1 or 2 5 times out of 54 drafts and pick 12 0 times. I am very thin on pick 12s. I've had 1 pick 12 since this has last been updated. So very thin on pick 12. Also very thin at pick 4. Had a few pick 1s and 2s, and I guess at least 1 3. So there was a little bit of like back to the mean on some early picks. But those were all on the Candyman stream when he was on last Thursday. But anything odd in this lobby so far? I mean, not really. I guess I'm probably the most oddball of the bunch, taking James Cook a little early. But back on the clock, we could go T. Higgins. But I don't have much Garrett Wilson. I kind of want to mix in Garrett Wilson every now and then. He's never falling back around, but I do not believe he's a better pick than T. Higgins. Let's just keep it simple. Trust the ADP. It is correct after all. At least with T. Higgins versus Garrett Wilson, I think it's correct. Not always is it correct, but in this instance, I think it is. So I'll take T. Some divisional correlation, and then in theory, an offense that's just so explosive, like whoever faces off against the Bengals in Week 17 is also like a team you're probably excited to be investing in. And that game is probably a shootout, more likely than not. Like if we had a Bengals versus Bills game, the final score on that one could be like 43-38. You know, like I think that's what it was last year, something along those lines. Like we could have both teams scoring 40, and that could be the game you need. So teams that I want to be chasing definitely include the Bills, the Ravens, and the Bengals. That feels good. But maybe Bucky Irving circles back. I have seen him circle back. Haven't updated my ranks. They don't go too deep, so I know it lists him there a little bit high, but not totally saying that is how I feel about it. But Bucky does go. And it looks like Fantasy Football Garage might be going live very soon. So this is my last draft. When this is over, I recommend y'all head over there. Check him out. Sharp drafter, good takes, very good content. And I mean, I guess I'm... Oh no! I guess I'm just going to take Lad McConkey after ADP. Woe is me. Oh no.
Nice and blunt.
Such an unfortunate turn of events. I didn't want to do that. I would never do that. But what's up, Steph? I see you in the chat. My filter is I don't know what's going on. My filter for all the chat comments is just glitching, unfortunately. Don't love to see it, but at the moment it's not complying. So I'm skimming through the chat. We got Jamie saying, unless the Bengals face the Browns week 17. Yeah, that'd be a bummer. Anyone that has to play in Cleveland, whether it's the Bengals or, you know, not, the Bengals do kind of struggle sometimes. But in that division, it's always kind of a low-scoring game sometimes. Like against the Browns, that's often how it goes, because Myles Garrett and that defense is really good. But they did change out Jim Schwartz. That could be a problem. I believe Jim Schwartz did leave. But the wind is kind of a big problem if you play in Cleveland. Like anyone that's at Cleveland week 17 is at the mercy of the weather forecast. That is a matchup to avoid. If we get the schedule release and Cleveland is on the road, it is a gift. If they are hosting someone, it's probably a matchup you would rather not invest in too heavily, because week 17 is when all the money's made. And if there's one thing I'd just like to avoid more so than anything else, it's bad weather. That can really derail you. Maybe not as much in the run game. Like maybe Quinshon Judkins would be more appealing in a bad weather game if the Browns were hosting someone in the final game. But every other member of the Browns would be almost like a no-go zone if that's your tiebreaker planning for week 17. But we don't know that information yet. No need to think about it too much. But what's up, Hulk Smash? I see you as well in the chat. We got 2 meals in a cart saying, I love beating a dead horse. Any guesses who was voted as the Jets MVP last year? Was it Isaiah Williams? Couldn't have been. It's had to have been. 2 meals in a cart. Cannot wait for the season to get here. Reading into Jets deep dives, like, man, I feel for you, bro. That's tough. Lamar circles back. If only we had Zay Flat. Did I pass on Zay? No, I did not. But I do have Derrick Henry. Sorry, Goblor. You're not going to get him. But pick 56. It's just too late. It's just too late for Lamar. I'll take him there. Not going to force my Lamar Jackson shares. There are some really bad outcomes for Lamar last season that I don't want to pretend like Lamar is just a lock. If we go back, honestly, I might have to pull it up in a... Yeah, I'll pull it up in a different window and then bring it in. We'll see the game scores as well if I do it this way. But I promise you, give it 20 seconds. I will show you the Lamar Jackson stats. They're not that good. They're not that exciting. But they also still have moments of, genuine league-winning potential. So, okay, here we go. This is the Lamar Jackson game log from 2025. Injury in week 4 plays a major factor. 10.7, we're going to write that off. So, first 3 games is what we're drafting. 29.4, 26.3, 27 points. A minimum of 26 points first 3 weeks. First game back from injury, 25.6 points. And what's crazy about that, he did it with 4 passing touchdowns. So Lamar is not running the ball the same. Last year, he averaged only 26.8 yards per game rushing. Not very good. And then starting in week 11, maybe he was just trying to get John Harbaugh fired. But 4.7, 7.2, 6.5. Back to 21, but... in best ball, that's not going to win you the week. We're back on the clock. Could just go Joe Burrow. And I will. Fuck it. Fuck it. We're sending it, babe. James Cook, Derrick Henry, T. Higgins, Ladd McConkey. We have T. Higgins, Joe Burrow stacked up. And then Lamar Jackson stacked up with Derrick Henry. So far, we have Lad McConkey unstacked, but this is a fun team. Very fun team. All right. Back to this. 14.6 out of Lamar in week 15. Week 16, 4.7. Then he didn't even play in week 17. Just kind of said, fuck you to the fantasy community. But then 20 points in week 18 in the winner go home, essentially playoff game against the Steelers, who had been his kryptonite up to that point. So I'm willing to write off these 4 bad games. Like, 4 games with less than 7.5 points is terrible. But when he was healthy before shit went south, he had 3 straight games averaging 27, almost 28 points. Yeah, you can't pretend like he's not a bad like he's a you cannot pretend like he is a bad click. 5-6 picks past ADP at 56, preventing the Zay Flowers drafter was really not my intention. I just think this is an egregiously low price on Lamar Jackson. But we are the integrity protector as of today. Stephanie says Gobbler is a damn ship chaser. Well, he didn't get it today. Didn't get the combo. Well, Jordan Tyson falls. I mean, at this point, yeah, I think I'll just take the falling value. This is a pretty cheap pick. 80. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Tyson was among the top of ADP at the last pick, and don't love many of the receiver names. Like, I'm willing to believe in Parker Washington. He did have a really good stretch there, but it also just feels a little bit odd. And then I think genuinely once, like, Mekhi Lemon, Brian Thomas, Christian Watson are off the board, you can justify pretty much anyone. You can also poke a lot of holes in just about anyone. There's not, like... The arguments to be made are not as foundationally sound as you might think. There's some flimsiness to all of these ADPs in the mid-6th, early 7th especially. That 6-7 turn is very questionable this year at receiver. It's usually a part of the draft that holds a lot of value, but I actually think there's more landmines among those names than sure bets. Ricky Pearsall used to be one of those names. He's since fallen dramatically. And that was the tier that went like immediately after where Mike Evans was going. Mike Evans used to go in the mid-6th, and I was clicking him like crazy in the mid-6th. He felt like the only safe pick in the 6th round, barring a retirement, which felt so unlikely. Could go Ramondre. Not in love with it, though. He gets sniped anyways. Could go Algier. Wouldn't hate that. But if anything, the pick I feel safest with is Wan'Dale Robinson. And with a little bit of uncertainty at my receiver spot, T. Higgins usually misses a few games. Lad McConkey is a little bit boom-bust at times. They spread it around a lot in LA, and when he doesn't hit, he can be really bad. Jordan Tyson, hard to project where he's going to land as a rookie. He might just be a jet, and that would suck. So that's a little bit of a gamble, but well past ADP, a full round, I'm willing to take it. Should be a first-round selection at the end of the day. So good outcomes, bad outcomes. Maybe he's with the Ravens. Maybe he's a Baltimore Raven. Maybe I sneak into a Lamar Jackson, Jordan Tyson stack. That is possible. Doubt it, but it is possible. And then Wan'Dale has like one of the highest floors remaining. I don't have a very safe floor with Tyson and Lad McConkey, in all honesty. Very high upside, but with the injury risk of T. Higgins, a safety net floor play like Wan'Dale that's just going to get a shit ton of volume, just consistently hit the lineup, give me a floor of points. I am happy with that. But what's up, Young Moolah? If you're hopping in late, you may have missed it. My chat filter is malfunctioning at the moment. We have a minor technical difficulty, so I can't pull y'all's comments up on the chat, but I do see you. Appreciate you hopping in, saying smash the like, and check out Young Moolah's channel as well. We had a stream together last week, and let me know. Email me, Young Moolah. When am I going on your channel? We haven't set that date yet. Let me know when that might take place in my email. And if anybody else is a content creator on YouTube, is interested in a collab, you can shoot me an email at niceandblunt@gmail.com. You can also find me on X. The picture is my old account. I probably got to change the picture on there. But Nice and Blunt, all 3 words, no spaces, Nice and Blunt. Based on who I follow and who follows me, it should check out. Haven't posted much on there, but have used it as like a little bit of like a, going live soon. I probably need to do that again before I forget soon. But we've passed on tight end for a minute. Let's go Sam Laporta, one of the last names I think can be truly elite. Watch Davis Maddock talk up Oronde Gadsden, which I take him a lot with Herbert in the first place, so I have a decent share of Oronde Gadsden. He could also be in that tier as well. Oronde Gadsden might be just as good as Kyle Pitts, and maybe even Tyler Warren. Gadsden could really benefit from Mike McDaniel there, so maybe I should consider the tier a little bit more extended. But around this section, there's Gobbler with no tight end, Peyton, the legend Manning with no tight end. Giving them 2 cracks at it to snipe me wouldn't feel good. That team also took Goff, so they were definitely in the market for Lions. He has them with Amon-Ra. So this team is really interesting, really compelling. Some solid investments. James Cook, Derrick Henry, T. Higgins, Ladd McConkey, Lamar, Joe Burrow, super elite quarterback room, and then Jordan Tyson, Wan'Dale Robinson, just to pad the safety level there. And then Sam Laporta at 104 feels like a steal. After the pick 100, I don't understand why Laporta is still available. I really don't. Could get Xavier Worthy if he falls, but I'm kind of hoping I get sniped. Goes Dobbins. That team takes Dobbins. Dang, kind of a tough decision here, but not a massive fall on Worthy. I think positionally speaking, for the structure of the team, I just need running back. I'm going to Kenneth Gainwell. Even though we've seen Bucky falling significantly, at least like a full round over the last few days, Kenny Gainwell holding strong in the 110s. Think this is totally fine. I was taking him like crazy around the turn before he signed. Anytime he fell to me at pick 128 in the 11th round, I was scooping him up a lot. I have a lot of Kenny Gainwell. I've been cooling it, but I still believe he's a good pick. And the odds I get like Rashad White to circle back, one of the last remaining like solid safe names. Yeah, let's just get in at the position. Stay balanced. We have a 2-3-4-1 build, and it feels pretty good. Honestly, like I think this team is really exciting. My receiver room, still got to piece it together. We're not done there. That's where it could still fall apart. But at the moment, feels really exciting to be halfway through this draft and have the names I do. My entire roster is filled out. We've got a backup quarterback that's a top 5 option every week. And then we also have either Wan'Dale Robinson, Kenny Gainwell hitting the flex, assuming Tyson does propel into our lineup most weeks. But if anything, Tyson is probably on the bench at the moment. Gainwell's probably the flex play. Tyson will come in clutch down the line, but probably not week 1. But let me get back to the chat. But Quid Pro Quo says the Zay Lamar stack is a dubious task. It's not easy to accomplish. I really wish Gobbler had left me Zay Flowers instead of leaving me Ladd. That would have been fucking dope. But it's tough to acquire, but when you do get it, it feels awesome. Feels great. It's like accomplishing a round 4 or 5 Terry McLaurin, Jaden Daniels stack. It's tough to get, but if you can sneak it in, oh boy, you feel at a major advantage against the field. But Coker off the board. Des got slabs, a little thin at receiver, so we'll see what he does. If he watches enough, he knows what I would like to do. And I think he snipes me. Young Moolah says, oh, sweet. We get Matthew Golden. I am a little more excited to draft Matthew Golden than Casey Concepcion, not going to lie. I'll take the little fall on Golden. Receiver's a position I need more bodies at. So Golden in one of the last names you can justify. There's some reaches the rest of the way. But yeah, don't usually go double elite QB, Young Moolah, but gotta mix it in every now and then. Gotta try it. When you get a good fall in value and you're given the chance and it makes sense. We've got a Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry combination, and those guys don't really stack up perfectly. So assuming like there's a week where Derrick Henry just takes over and Lamar does kind of crater, maybe that's just the player I need, just one of the Ravens. And then maybe they're going against the Bengals and Burrow and T. Higgins just fucking crush that week, you know? Like, what if that's just how it goes? Week 17. But almost on the clock. A little run at tight end there. I'm not going to get Andrews to stack up, but I'm not that upset about it. Darnold gets taken. Yeah. Let's do it. We're going to get a little greedy at quarterback. But the other teams that can like really compete with me are the teams with like Allen and like, I guess like Jalen Hurts. Like in my dimension, there's not that many like truly elite other options because I have both Lamar and Burrow. You know, I removed one of those teams that could have the QB3. So the Jaden Daniels drafter has Daniels, Goff, and Tyler Shuck. That put a bit of a premium on the position. The team with Lawrence also went a little extra heavy early on with Lawrence, Stafford, and Willis in round 10. And then there's also the team with Caleb and Dak, and then Purdy with Bo Nix. So like the teams that don't feel like really confident in QB2, one of them's Allen, one of them's the Hurts team. We're kind of bearing them and then just really cementing that like I have one of the best quarterback, just an untouchable quarterback room perhaps. Gonna lean into the strength of this lobby. I'm definitely at the top of the group at the quarterback position. No doubt about that. So we have another stack in Wan'Dale Robinson and Cam Ward, one of my preferred stacks. Maybe I should have gone Jeremiah Love in hindsight, but we have Henry on the thumbnail. I don't care. But last draft, we did take Cam Ward pick 151. So that just speaks to how much I like Cam Ward in terms of his like breakout potential and like true upside. I think he can be really, really tremendously valuable. And I know quarterbacks getting disgusting the rest of the way. Like Daniel Jones and Bryce Young went around that turn. Not exciting at all. But this is interesting. Jaden Higgins might fall back. That's a little crazy. No, he does not.
Nice and blunt.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take Omar Cooper Jr. In my opinion, one of the best picks on the board, and especially past 150, he's just kind of an auto click for me. I'm just fully committing to Omar Cooper Jr. And at the moment Juwan Jennings continues to fall, I will leave him alone. I don't think he's going to be joining one of the teams that I have to stack. Whereas Omar Cooper Jr. could indeed join one of my quarterback stacks. Definitely possible. right, let me check the chat after this next pick. Brooks goes, Connor goes. Running back is a little thin with Connor, Henry, and with Cook, Henry, and Gainwell, but I think I can make it work. Would have loved Emmett Johnson there, though. Kind of a bummer I didn't get Emmett Johnson, in all honesty. I think I'll take the swing on Travis Hunter. Why not? Pick 161 is 7 past ADP, so not expecting him to circle back. And like the receiver room I have has a lot of like big swings on it. Like I'm trying to just hit it big, and if Travis Hunter can hit it big, he can have that like truly elite spike week. Like there's a scenario where Travis Hunter does provide the biggest return on investment this late. Like Hunter and Jonathan Brooks are some of the biggest like lottery ticket swings at this section. Young Moolah saying, I'm very high on Laporta. Is this one of my big stances? In terms of the position, yeah, I would be perfectly happy if Laporta is like my most drafted guy. I think for the price, especially anytime he's after pick 100, but really anywhere in the 9th round, I think for like the upside you can be getting, risk reward ratio, Laporta is one of the most enticing, exciting names that I have a lot of conviction with when I click. I don't think you need him stacked up, but I think when he can pop, it's for multiple touchdowns, over 100-yard potential, and it's an offense I really want to invest in. One of the least expensive names in that offense, other than Goff, like Laporta and Goff going like right around the same section. Like the only other Lion you can get is Isaac Tesla, and I guess Pacheco. But like, you know, that's not where the offense is funneled into. But every other Lion is at a major premium. So I think just the market has a wrong price on Laporta. And I think some of the other tight ends are incorrect as well. But I like to be mixing in all of like Loveland through Laporta. I think you should just try to get at a value anytime you can. And because he goes last, it's usually Laporta who I wind up with, but it's in a section that I really want to invest in with confidence. Tank Bigsby did get sniped. That's a bummer there. I'll go Nick Singleton. Injured but talented. And I'll just be taking 3 kind of randos. I'm just so committed to Cook and Henry on this team. Like I kind of gave up on chasing some of the prices. It was in a weird spot, didn't get good values. Like would have had to reach on Keaton Mitchell, would have had to reach on Aaron Jones a little bit. Probably should have. I almost took Aaron Jones. I'll say that. That one I kind of regret. I almost took Jonathan Brooks, but thought I could get Emmett Johnson, circle back Bryson, did not let that happen. And then there was a significant run at the position there. I thought at least Tank Bigsby would be back. He was not. Fantasy Dog was not going to let that happen. Fantasy Dog sniping me on my boy, Tank Bigsby. But 172 justified. Round 15 is still too low on Tank Bigsby, in all honesty. But probably not getting many points out of Nick Singleton for a while. I do like his talent, though, but an injury really messes with his value early in the season. But there's a lot of teams that are like thin at running back behind me. Like there's Kungo-san with only 4, K-Name with only 4. I'm going to take the gamble that Njoku goes to the Ravens. At this point, you might as well wait until after the draft to see what's really left in terms of opportunity. I don't think the fact that he hasn't signed is like the end of the world, but for him to visit with them at all knows that it means that they're interested, and it's probably the most likely scenario. We haven't heard him visit with anyone else really of note aside from that, unless I'm just not paying attention enough. But Njoku being linked to the Ravens a little bit is, I think, a valuable potential stack. In terms of talent, he's one of the best athletes left on the board at the position. Like, Njoku's talented enough to be drafted alongside like Goddard and Kelsey. If you told me he's actually a Ravens tight end, there was some potential he was going to be an Eagle, but they brought back Dallas Goedert, so that's not in the cards anymore. It's slim pickings, but he's one of the more talented names, and he's going to sign somewhere. There's not a chance that Njoku is not on an NFL roster next season. So there aren't a ton of teams that need tight end desperately, but in terms of his talent, he's an upgrade. I think he could even just be playing alongside Hunter Henry, in all honesty. I think that's a potential spot. If the Patriots don't draft a tight end, they have to replace Austin Hooper, who went to Atlanta, and I could see Njoku wind up in New England potentially. If they don't get the AJ Brown trade like we thought, Fantasy Dog does take Brian Robinson. I was seeing him fall. I was like, damn, maybe I get him, but nah. Fantasy Dog, good click. I'm so committed to James Cook on this team. I think I'm just gonna handcuff him. I genuinely think that's like probably one of the more valuable ways to go about it. Just like lock up the Bills starting running back every week. Because if Cook ever misses time, this team is fucked. And if he does, the name you want is definitely Ray Davis. But Ty Johnson also in the mix there. So like, yeah, just give me the guy that's gonna step up. If I'm screwed with a 0 out of my first round pick, I'll get 20 touches out of Ray Davis if I ever miss time on James Cook. So desperation sinking in a little bit, not gonna lie. I don't feel amazing about my running back depth, but up top it's just so good, I'm willing to just like trust the process. And then Gainwell's pretty solid. It's not like Gainwell's just a nothing, but Singleton might be totally nothing. That's where it's really dicey. And then I don't give a shit. I'm gonna take him pretty much every fucking time if he's there. In round 18, round 19, I'm just gonna take him every time. Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver 8. We have T. Higgins, Lad McConkey, Jordan Tyson, Wan'Dale Robinson, Matthew Golden, Omar Cooper Jr., Travis Hunter, Major Gamble, and then Jeremy Bernard. I think just a mispriced asset. Going too late. What's up, Who Hames? How you doing? I see you in the chat, but if you're just joining, my live chat filter is malfunctioning, so I unfortunately had to move on from that. But what is the Travis Kelce? What is up with the Travis Kelce contract? My God, from possibly retiring to overpaid. It's like the Kobe. It's like Kobe Bryant's last contract. Like you've yeah. Like Young Moolah was saying, thank you for your service type of thing. My understanding, it's mostly like a 1-year deal where like the signing bonuses impact the cap over time, or they're like spread out over time. There's something good about how the contract is structured and stuff, but yeah, I wouldn't make too much of the 3-year aspect of it. At least you know that this year he's playing. He's a good pick. That's all you need to know. That's all I need to know. This year he's locked in. I have a lot of Travis Kelce, so I'm happy to know those shares were not in vain. But now that he moves up the board, I'm going to draft him less. I'm going to be less inclined to scoop him up and reach on him. I was getting him a lot in the 160s. I was taking Kelce a lot around 14. So he goes around 12 here. He can still go higher, and I'm not going to force it if I don't have to. But Steph said I needed Jones so bad. Did she get Daniel Jones? She did not. She went Aaron Jones. Oh, well, you got Aaron Jones. You did get a Jones, but you did not get Daniel Jones to stack up with Tyler Warren. Go Mendoza with Bowers instead. But I suppose you need Aaron Jones less. Yeah, I think you were talking about Daniel Jones, if I had to guess. Wondered if you've seen that. I had 3 picks straight queued up. Where are you drafting, Quid Pro Quo? What position are you drafting in? All right, feeling rather desperate. We're going to draft another rookie and cross our fingers. I think I might just have to call it with Laporta and Njoku. The Cam Ward pick was probably excessive. I think I should have probably just gone Aaron Jones instead of Cam Ward, or just taken Omar Cooper Jr. there and then gotten Jonathan Brooks. Either Aaron Jones or Jonathan Brooks instead of Cam Ward probably was the better way for my team to go. Or just pull up Tank Bigsby to 161, but nah, I don't know if that's necessary. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay, but I think I do need a 7th running back, most likely. I think I'd feel a bit better with a 7th. Justice Hill was taken, so I did not get to just pair up the extra handcuff. So if Henry goes down, I'm screwed. Oh, Mike Gesicki was sniped. That was going to be my pick. So yeah, definitely running back. Is it just Holani? Yeah, it might be Holani. I need points at the beginning of the year, most likely. I think my swings with Claiborne and Singleton. We'll see about that. But if they do pop, it's later in the season, most likely. And then Gainwell, I think, is probably going to be a little more valuable as the season goes on. I would assume week 1, they're at least going to give Bucky a shot to really command a lot of the workload. So early in the year, Gainwell might not be like everything for the Bucks, but I think he'll earn more work and more touches. He'll be more involved as time goes on. But to have him as my flex is really, really important. And then my depth has some talented rookies, but they could just be zeros. And then even Ray Davis and George Holani might be a zero. But at least I got one handcuff. I would have preferred to have Justice Hill instead of George Holani. That would have been a lot safer. But it's okay. We have higher upside with Devon Claiborne. Wide receiver room is pretty solid. We have T. Higgins, Ladd McConkey, Jordan Tyson, Wan'Dale Robinson, Matthew Golden, Omar Cooper, Travis Hunter, and Jeremy Bernard. A little bit risky, but worth a swing. Definitely some upside. Tight end a little bit thin, but I'm trusting in Sam Laporta. And in Njoku, I still believe in. I still think he's a really solid, valuable name to have. A little bit injury prone, so tight end is tricky. But maybe I should have just gone with another running back or tight end instead of Cam Ward. The Cam Ward pick might have cost me a lot, but Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, truly elite. And now we just have another bullet in the chamber. And we got an insane fall on Lamar. Can't blame me, but perhaps I should have stopped at just 2. I think I got greedy, a little too greedy with Cam Ward, but it's okay. I think we'll be all right. Risky, but all right. With me in here, we had Marcus Dez right at the 107. Similar draft in terms of some of the early round investments. Has Caleb Dax Shador. Very nice. Good luck with Shador, but Jonathan Taylor, Jeremiah Love, Blake Corum, Jordan Mason. Mason feels a little expensive, not gonna lie. I'd much rather just go Aaron Jones than Mason above ADP, but Emmanuel Wilson, not terrible. Dylan Sampson, Ollie Gordon, so got some good solid depth with 7. And then AJ Brown, Roma Dunze, Romeo Dobbs, double Romeo. And then Casey Concepcion, Rashid Shaheed, Jaden Higgins, Ryan Flournoy, Elic Ayamanor. Pretty solid. Some of the later depth pieces not in love with, but an amazing price on Jaden Higgins. That's awesome. 151. Flournoy stacked up at least, but Yamanor, yikes. Shahid is I was a little shocked he took Concepcion over Golden. Personally, I am Golden well above Concepcion, especially with Dobbs leaving. Right now, I don't know what to make of Concepcion. I'd rather just go Omar Cooper Jr. a little bit later. But Loveland and Stowers, so thin at tight end just like me. And quarterback maybe not as amazing, but running back much safer than me. So not bad. Not bad. Receiver scares me, though. Receiver don't feel amazing with, not going to lie. We had Fancy Dog in here at 4, who has Trevor Lawrence, Matthew Stafford, Malik Willis. So decent investment in draft capital. Willis, though, better run it like crazy, because right now, I don't know what to make of Willis. Feels wrong. I don't click Willis very often, personally. Chase Brown, DeAndre Swift, Rodriguez. Everyone's pulling him up. I've not been getting him at his new price. Maybe I'm screwed. Sean Tucker, Tank Bigsby, and Brian Robinson. So, like the depth a lot. Very, very good across the board running back room. Very balanced running back room. That's for sure. And then receivers really strong with Puka, Olave, Adams, double stacked. Parker Washington stacked up. Jacoby Myers at a good price, 93. Cooper Kupp, Keenan, Darius Slayton. Good luck. Don't love those clicks, honestly. I could see Keenan retire. I think Kupp's probably getting hurt. And then Slayton, gimme Darnell Mooney over Slayton, in all honesty. But Goddard, Juwan Johnson, Colby Parkinson, very solid tight end room. Very legit at tight end. So, yeah. Not my favorite depth pieces at receiver. I would have liked like just one rookie at the very least. But the top 5 feel really good. Running back feels good. Quarterback will work. Super balanced, very effective way to fade the tight end position and have a very competitive team. I like it a lot. Looks like a team I would draft, honestly. Aside from those last 3 receivers. Super Shorty, interested what Steph did in this one. She did get sniped on Daniel Jones, like she said. But Jalen Hurts, Fernando Mendoza, and Tua. Unfortunately, it was not intentional. It was nothing personal. But I was kind of taking Cam Ward with trying to punish some teams that were thin at quarterback. You were one of them, unfortunately. So I hope it didn't cost you too much. But your running back room is much better than mine. Bijan, Tyler Algier, Jadarian Price, Jonah Coleman, Aaron Jones is the 5th, Woody Marks, and Katron Allen. So some big bets at rookie there. But a good fall on Woody Marks, and then Aaron Jones I think is a good value. Anytime you have Bijan, you can afford some of those swings. But really elite upside if any of them go to Seattle, and then also just some good landing spots as backups. Like you might be getting Christian McCaffrey's handcuff. You never know. You might be getting Derrick Henry's handcuff or something. You might be getting Bijan's handcuff. Pretty good approach. Really solid running back room. I wish one of those names might have circled back, in all honesty. But Pickens, Devontae Smith, Waddle, that's pretty solid. Xavier Worthy at 119, pretty good. Calvin Ridley, a little gross. Trey Tucker, also a little gross, but with Mendoza, not as gross. Brazel and Antonio Williams, worth a swing. Definitely interesting rookies, super late. Bowers and Tyler Warren, so elite tight end. Yeah, Daniel Jones would have really complemented this team very nicely. But I do like the Tua acquisition with Bijan as well. Pretty solid. Yeah, good luck with some receiver depth. But if those top 3 can carry you, the running back position will definitely carry you. Pretty legit. Quarterback a little thin, though, as we mentioned. But Silver Rapture at the 101. Had to worry about him at the book and did snipe her on Daniel Jones, but has a 3.593 with Brock Purdy, Bo Nix, and Daniel Jones. So pretty solid at QB. Running back, Jahmyr Gibbs, ETN, Josh Jacobs. So that's pretty unique. Maybe not super unique, not impossible to have, but a little unique. As Rashad White as well. And then gone a little fragile with Charbonnet. We took him in the last draft, and this is a room where I think you can take him. But given how little he impacts the roster... No, I like that you stopped at 5. But receiver has 9. So Terry, Jamo, Alec Pierce, and Michael Wilson had to get back in. Josh Downs and Alec Pierce definitely justified to take Daniel Jones. Yeah, not a snipe at all. Just the correct pick. Kayshon Boutte, Troy Franklin, Jahan Dotson. Might have sniped Stephanie, though. Yeah, I think he sniped Stephanie on Jahan Dotson. with Hurts there, but maybe she didn't want him. Maybe she didn't care. Rashad Bateman, I guess, sniped me, but no, I let him fall to you. Wasn't interested personally. Schultz, Mason Taylor, and Gunnar Helm. Decent, but honestly feels really, really gross. Like, no true upside unless Gunnar Helm is just the man. I do not believe in Mason Taylor, and then Schultz is just like a true floor play. As the number one, this tight end room is not impressive. Not at all. But isn't Dotson a Falcon? Oh, yes. Well, she also has Tua. That's why I was connecting him. Yeah. She also has Tua. I remember thinking about it when I saw Tua and Hurts, and maybe she did get sniped. Maybe she did, but maybe not. Dotson gone. I think they signed Hollywood. Yes, very accurate. They did mix up. I'm surprised they haven't put his new team yet. Why does it still say Philly? That's odd. I think Hollywood's has changed. I think like Mooney's has changed. They're on different teams, but anybody else in here? We also had Snappy Pants in at the 12. Jordan Love, Baker, and Brissett. Pretty solid. Ashton Genty, Devon Achane, Scadaboo, pretty strong up top. And then James Conner, Kimani Vidal, and Jordan James. Worth the risk. Absolutely. Solid room up and down the board. Teteroa McMillan, Garrett Wilson feels gross, but I've been trying to get a little more Garrett Wilson at the very least. And then Tet would not have made it back to you, so that's all right. And then Brian Thomas, Ricky Pearsall, Jalen McMillan, Trey Harris, Pat Bryant at 204. Good price on Pat Bryant. And then Tez Johnson with Baker. I get it, but it's not like exciting. It's fine. It's okay. At least he's a spike week guy. But Tucker Kraft, George Kittle, AJ Barner, very good tight end room. Also stacked up with Love. The only pick I don't like is the Tet and Garrett Wilson 3-4 turn. And at some point you got to mix them in. At the turn you can do whatever you want. Good team. Super balanced. Very legit team. Well correlated. Took McMillan very appropriately. Got a good price on Kittle. Yeah, a few risky swings, but they're all late and they're all justified. I like the team a lot. At the 12, I think Snappy Pants really did a good job. What was your? Sorry, I'm scrolling up, trying to remember who this was. Scott Coyote. Nice team, Scott. Scott Coyote in here at 12. Snappy Pants with a very balanced, very legit, very competitive team out of the bookend. But then we did also have, it came in late. Someone just told us they're in at the 11. Dean Johnson is in at 11. Apologies if I missed that, Dean. You're Peyton the Legend Manning? Yo, this is the first time you've revealed yourself, lurking. Maybe you've told me before. Maybe I just forgot. But yo, you're in here quite a bit, man. Appreciate you hopping in these lobbies with me. Appreciate it very much. But goes Jackson Dart, Kyler Murray, Justin Fields, all running quarterbacks, and then Dart and Kyler can carry you. So Fields, worth a swing. Super late. I get it. I've been trying to take him. I've actually gotten sniped a few times when I've thought about it. Kyron, Javonte, RJ Harvey, Rico Dowdle. So top 4 pretty legit. You know Dobbins will get hurt inevitably, so RJ Harvey will have late season value. And then Trey Benson, a wasted click probably if you ask me, but the top 4 are so good, I guess you can afford the risk, but I don't like it. I don't like Benson as the 5th and stopping there. Don't like it, to be honest. But the top 4 are really good. Top 4 are great. Jefferson, Neighbors is elite. Watson and Quentin Johnston's okay. Denzel Boston at a good fall, 155 is nice. Same with Diggs, great depth pieces. Naylor at ADP, he's fine. Not amazing, but fine. Torrey Horton now outside pick 200 is justified again, but a little scary. And then Jalen Tolbert, whatevs, but I guess at this point in time, worth a random click every now and then. Nobody else has him too much. And then Isaiah Likely with Dart. Andrews did snipe me on Andrews well above ADP. That one was interesting. And then Jake Tonjes is whatever. Tight end room is fine. Not insane. I hope Isaiah Likely does pay off. But Andrews, I'm not really a believer in. But fun team. A little fragile. wide receiver is good enough up top. I don't think if you needed the ninth. I think I would have taken a sixth running back instead of a ninth receiver, personally. But that's just me. But appreciate everyone hopping in. I got some dinner to get to. But yeah, Hollywood did sign with the Eagles. Silver Rapture believes his competes, but not his favorite. I thought it was competitive as well. It's definitely competitive. Tight end, though, scares the shit out of me. Tight end sucks. One last reminder on my team. Let me pull up my team one last time. We go double elite QB. I wish I didn't take Cam Ward, but it's okay. Just another quarterback, not gonna be the end of the world. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. Got a good fall on Lamar. Burrow also passed ADP by 1 pick. Super committed to James Cook and Derrick Henry staying healthy, but also have Kenneth Gainwell. Need Singleton or Claiborne to pay off. They're talented, but might not do much. Ray Davis, in case James Cook ever gets hurt. That's really important, actually, for this team. And then George Holani, maybe some early season points, while Singleton and Claiborne get in a rhythm. But running back is a little bit thin. Up top just needs to be good enough to carry me. If that happens, I think this team is amazing. I got T. Higgins stacked up with Burrow. I got Ladd McConkey. Jordan Tyson at pick 80, full round past ADP. Could get stacked up with Lamar. That'd be awesome. Wandale for the floor. Wandale's super valuable on this team. And then he is stacked up, so that's nice. Matthew Golden at a nice fall of 8 picks. Happy to have him. Omar Cooper, super valuable. And then the swing on Travis Hunter, worth the upside, but definitely risky. And then Jeremy Bernard, I think, is totally mispriced outside the pick 200. And then tight end a little thin, but I think out of necessity have Laporta and Njoku. I wouldn't hate swapping out Cam Ward for, let's see, who was at the top of ADP when I took Cam Ward? Kenyon Sadiq would have been dope. Kenyon Sadiq to the Ravens is also very live. Yeah, I should have taken Sadiq or Andrews. It is, oh no, they were sniped actually. They were off the board. Never mind. Yeah, I probably should have just taken Aaron Jones or Jonathan Brooks or Tyron Tracy. Maybe even Keaton Mitchell. Perhaps would have been better. An extra running back would feel better, but it's not the end of the world. Always going to have a little risk when you go double elite QB. I'm happy with it. Anyways, that's it for me. Appreciate y'all. Check out Fantasy Football Garage, who is live streaming. And yeah, head over to Candyman stream after I'm gone. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Peace out. Goodbye.